Hey y'all, Unbreakable here. It's time for another episode of Ask Unbreakable Anything. Let's do our disclaimer. I am not, nor will I ever claim to be a mental health professional, an expert, or a know-it-all. I am simply a very vocal survivor. I share my experience, my strength, my hope. I share my ups, my downs. I share my struggles. I share my own toxic traits. I share me. So let's go. The question that I was asked was, how do we stop being a people pleaser? So at some point in time in our lives, we learned that because of the people around us, that the only way that we were going to be able to get love or attention or affection was if we did what they wanted us to do. If we in some way showed them that, look, we're worth it. I'm enough. I'm worth your time. I'm worth your attention. I'm worth your love. I'm worth your energy. And oftentimes that resulted in doing things that we didn't necessarily want to do, saying yes when we wanted to say no, giving up our own beliefs, our own feelings, our own emotions, our own time, our own space, buying things, gifts for people. And this became embedded in our identity. This became who we were, who we are. People pleasers. So how do we stop being people pleasers? There's nothing wrong with being kind, caring, courteous, generous to other people. There's nothing wrong with that. But anything in excess is not healthy. And that includes giving everything of ourselves until there's nothing left for us. So where do we begin? It's the same thing I always say. It all begins with us. See, as a people pleaser, we are seeking validation. We are seeking attention. We are seeking love. We are seeking respect. We are seeking that feeling of being enough, acceptance. When we start to love ourselves, we no longer have to find external validation for that. We no longer have to find external attention, affection, compassion. We start giving all of that to ourselves. When we begin to love ourselves, we find our value, we find our worth. We find out exactly who we are. We find out that we are enough exactly as we are. My worth is not contingent upon anyone else. My worth is not contingent upon whether I have someone in my life or I don't have someone in my life, whether someone's talking to me or someone isn't talking to me, whether someone's giving me attention or there's no one giving me attention. My identity is not based on anyone else. My self-worth is not based on anyone else. I am enough exactly as I am, regardless of whether people believe that, validate that, say that, or not. I've been a people pleaser for so long. But as I began to love myself, as I began to recognize my worth, I also recognized that I didn't have to seek it from others. And so while, yes, I'm still an extremely giving person, when I decide to be giving, I make the decision. I have the conversation with myself. Why am I wanting to be giving right now? Is it because I'm seeking something in return, or am I doing this simply unconditionally out of the kindness of my heart? It's okay to be a giver. It's absolutely okay to want to see joy in other people's eyes, to want to bring peace or give comfort to those who maybe need it. It's what makes us such amazing human beings. But again, anything in excess is not healthy. If I'm giving and giving of myself, I have nothing left for myself. And regardless of what relationship you may be in, regardless of your family situation, you always have to come first. And that includes over children. If you're not taking care of yourself, how can you be the best that you need to be for your kids? That includes in romantic relationships. If you're not taking care of yourself, how can you be the best that you need to be in that relationship? See, everything I talk about around here, y'all, it all begins with the very same thing. And that's us. It all begins with knowing who we are. It all begins with recognizing that so many of the traumas that we experienced in our lifetime were not our fault. That we have no shame over what happened to us. I've been a victim to so many atrocities in my life. I didn't cause them. I couldn't stop them. I couldn't control them. And none of them were my fault. But where I'm at now is I choose to rise up over those atrocities, to take my life and my power back and say no more. No more will I be a victim in circumstances. And as I take my power back, again, I realize I don't have to give of myself to everyone else around me to the extent that I am completely left with nothing. Because I come first. So how do we stop being people pleasers? By loving ourselves first. Recognizing who we are, the talents, the capabilities, the empathy, the love, the mere existence of this phenomenal human being. Fall in love with yourself. Date yourself. Give yourself compassion. Give yourself grace. Give yourself time to heal. Be gentle with yourself. The more you fall in love with you, the less you will have to seek out that external validation. The less you will feel the need to be a people pleaser, a constant gift giver. It all begins with you. What's your next question for Ask Unbreakable Anything? Y'all go be unbreakable.